This film is the product of a 7-week analysis reflecting on a body of work spanning the 2.5-year period Exor Christopher Borja Peralta spent at RMIT. What was revealed through this study are 4 behaviors that underpin Peralta's architectural practice. 2 minors revealed in the atlas, and 2 majors unpacked through case studies. The minors, an immature obsession with a pictorial product, and a masochistic inclination to bind and restrict oneself. The majors, a tendency to descend into holes of a cunicular nature, and a penchant for the conveniently untrue. As a consequence of the bi-weekly format of undergraduate studios at RMIT, Peralta would often design towards a drawing in the interest of both time and visual communication. We see traces of this in his work for Malbolge, completed in 2022 under the tutelage of an André Bonis and a Bryn Morel. As a consequence of both the intensive format and a general lackadaisical attitude in the holiday period, the summer semester is a hothouse of shortcutting. Father Forgive Me is thus more a reflection of a pictorial idea, conflict and impact, than it is a realized formal or spatial proposition. Space is composed in the interest of a particular level, or a particular section cut. The project's drawings thus depart from representation and enter the realm of visual and illustrative composition. Asserting a strict set of rules and constraints for himself assisted Peralta in confronting complex issues, relationships, and polemics. Let us look at 2 examples of this from 2 different studios, completed a year apart. The first is from a weekly task completed for Conspiracy in 2021 under Arjuna Benson and Alan Burrows. Here, Peralta's list of setbacks acts as the architectural proposal, carrying a fictional imperative and the very heart of the project within its rule set. Peralta extended this strategy a year later for Laura Simon's studio, The Imp, The Pit, and Us in 2022. As in Conspiracy, the codified agendas of a fictional character are the main drivers of his project. By having meticulously designed constraints, Peralta is able to arrive at design decisions with more rigor and assert his control over a project's holistic formal outcome. Peralta's tendency to descend into the rabbit hole manifests through his accretive process. The practice of accretion entails the collection of mass amounts of data. By assembling a palette of truths, falsehoods, systems, affects, issues, solutions, behaviors, and experiences, Peralta attempts to find a broader understanding of the world in which a project is situated. In 100 Convolutes, Peralta utilizes the collection of things in an assemblage of 100 pieces, spread between art, writings, and other observations, which serve as peripheral arguments for a greater polemical or architectural proposition. It showcases the breadth and scope of the work's current concerns, while also setting himself up with a palette from which to spur further lines of inquiry. Peralta uses fiction as a lens through which his work can be magnified, focused, and refined. Characters become developed clients, sites are understood as lived-in settings, while story becomes the digestible dog treat hiding a polemic-shaped pill. Consider Peralta's Ballad of Sing Chong, a short fictional screenplay that unites discrete historical events pulled from the State Library archive with an overarching narrative. Or Fossil Profile Christopher Peralta, a fictional biography where he places his story in parallel to a historical figure as an extended metaphor, recounting his design process through a manufactured chronology. Or Consumer Profile Arnold Cheeseman, also a fictional biography containing a throng of polemical positions and implied messages, from observations on the power of trauma and anxiety within the family unit, to a critique on subjects as large as the lack of commercial and cultural spaces provided in Melbourne's outer suburban donut developments.
consider even the semi-fictional presentation that I've made for Folio. Throughout this entire semester, I've been lying. That's my confession. I've been pretending that Christopher Peralta's dead, and I've been playing this role of historian, just going through and analyzing and documenting and drawing connections. But I think in doing that and sitting in that story and positioning myself as just another character to analyze or to imbue meaning into, I've been able to make a lot more impartial discoveries. Like, I've avoided that trap that I usually fall into of making value judgments about my work, where I'm like, oh, this project's horrible, I was 17, I thought I knew everything, or I know how rushed this model is, or I know this is where I bullshitted the critic, where I just didn't believe any of what I was actually saying. But I digress. Thank you for watching.